guys, welcome to the People Streamer. I'm your host Reynolds, and in this podcast and in this channel, we give people more than 30 seconds. You know, that kind of story that you really want to hear, that friendship that blossoms from nothing to everything. And I got a couple of stories for you. I got a couple of speakers for you here. And the first one I have is Noobdy Doob. He comes from the world of Twitch. He lives in Belgium. He's just a great and awesome guy. He also does some creative stuff like handmade beads. He reviews Belgian beers, and whatever the world says, Belgian beers are still the best beers out there. Not that I tasted all the beers, but it is what it is. You can find him on twitch.tv noobdydoop, and I'm saying it correct right now because I always said noobdy noob. It had a nicer ring to it, but it's noobdy doop. Hey noobdy doop, how are you doing this evening?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing real good actually. A couple of episodes have been recorded right now, and I'm actually really happy with it. This one I had to re-record because I had some sound problems and bot problems. Damn it, Discord. But I'm doing okay. So you got an awesome story for me. I've already heard it in writing. I've already heard it because the last recording, but I want you to tell us again what made this story great and how it happened.
Well, it all happened when I was about 15 years old. I was in, I don't know what they call it, high school, I suppose, but yeah. There was this guy at my school who was bullied a lot, but like seriously, everybody bullied him. I never did that, but I also didn't care much at that point because, well, if you hang with that guy, you get bullied. However, at a certain point, he had a really, really, really bad day, and when the school bell rang, he just wanted to get out. And, well, we were on the first floor, we were going downstairs, and he just pushed me out of the way. So, every person's reaction when someone pushes you out of the way on a staircase is like, hey, what are you doing? Stop that, you idiot. And he just turns around. At that point, I still had long hair. You can imagine me with that right now, but
I want pics or it didn't happen.
well, at one point in my life, I even had dreadlocks, but
Really? Cool, dude.
those pics are long lost.
I'm gonna search them on the
Yeah, you
internet.
can't find them. They're not on the internet. However, so he pushes me, and I'm like, "Hey, idiot, watch out!" And he just turns around, stares at me, grabs my hair, and pulls out a flock of it. Like seriously, he had quite a bit of hair in his hands at that point, and I was so flabbergasted that I couldn't move. I just looked at him and was like, "What the fuck?" And well, before I could say anything, he realized what he has done and he ran out. Now, at that point, anyone would have beat him up, I think, but I am a rather passive guy, so I just continue my way to my bike. I get my bike out the bike stand and I see him standing at the end of the bike corridor in that school. He was, yeah, just waiting. And I think he was waiting for me to beat him up, but
Come at me, boy. Come at me.
he never defended himself or stuff like that, so he got beaten up quite a bit.
Then you have like big cojones because just waiting there to get beat up and you don't even do anything, then damn.
Yeah, but he's still not normal though. However, I took my bike, I stepped on it, I rode past him, and while I rode past him, I just nodded at him and left it as that. Fast forward into the darkness because we don't know how it happened, but
Into the darkness.
I got him into my group of friends and he became my best friend afterwards. So that's basically it. And since then, we've been best friends ever. He's even the godfather of my little daughter.
Cool, man. Does he tell the story then? Does he tell the story that he pulled out your hair?
She's only 3.5 years old, so she wouldn't quite grasp it yet. But yeah, we will tell her that story eventually, probably.
I was wondering what made you, like, you're now best of friends, but are you similar in a way, got same interests, or are you total opposites?
We have rather the same interests on certain points. Like we were both nerds at that time. Like I was interested in PCs, he was interested in PCs. We also both didn't have many friends. I didn't have many friends, but I got a close group of friends, and he didn't have any friends before me, I think. Well, he did have one friend, but that watered out when he became a teenager because his friend was popular and he was the bullied one.
Damn, that's like real American movie, high school kind of thing.
Yeah, you could write a movie about it if we added everything to it, but that would make the interview a bit long, I suppose.
That's true. That's true. Cool, dude. What's the craziest thing that you did with him in the past few years?
Past few years, we've quite calmed down because we have aged a bit. Well, aged. We're 34 both, so yeah.
Oh, you're old. You need a wheelchair and stuff. All those gray hairs.
Not yet. It's first a walking stick.
First the walking stick, then the chair.
But now the craziest thing I can remember is we went out one day in our local village and, well, we were drinking and smoking a bit as well.
Oh.
And it was behind the library that we were smoking, but shush.
Still teenagers then.
Shouldn't say that because the library is right around the corner from the police station, but hush. Now, however, his mom came and he came to pick him up. And his mom she never speaks English or anything. She doesn't even know English, but that time she decided to be cool and she said, "Hi." And my mate went like, "Yep."
Yeah, mom. Nice trying to be cool and whatnot.
Yeah, but she never realized why he said that. That's the funny part about it. But it's so one of those stories you can remember.
Cool, man. Where can people find you? Where can people find who you are, what you do, and what you are about?
Who I am, I rather leave that a bit in the clouds. But my online persona can be found just by googling Noobdedoop. I'm not shitting you. Just Google Noobdedoop. You will only find me.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Oh no, you will find that clip of me in the garden shack with my neighbors.
Dude, you're an expert in, or is it just that rare of a name?
My name is pretty rare. My name comes from a point that I used a name that was very linked to me. But when you search that name, you would also find pictures of my family and stuff. And I didn't want that before I went onto Twitch. I changed my online personality a couple of years ago and I went with a name that had a nice ring to it and wasn't Googleable. Is that even
Googleable? We're making it a word. Googleable!
I was kind of trying names and stuff, and on a certain point, I came up to Noobdedoop, and I put it into Google, and I had 0 results. And that's why I chose that name.
Ah, that's cool. That's great marketing.
So everything you find is me.
Yeah, I'm going down to the pictures and I'm not I don't see any pictures of dreads, so I'm gonna have to find harder and harder. I'll get there.
Yeah, you will have to know my real name for that. My full real name.
We don't talk about that. Only internet personas.
to my personal Facebook account, which has one picture of it, but you will have to ask me to become friends, and I don't accept anymore.
I want to be
So
your
it's off
friend.
limits.
Okay, well, let's leave it at that, at my hurt feelings. But I want to thank you again for coming on this interview, this podcast, and I wish you the best of luck, dude.
All right, see you around.
Well, we're in the middle of our podcast, and I want to thank you guys for being here. And also, don't forget to subscribe on this episode or any future episodes at that. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, but mainly I'm real active on my Discord, so check that out. And don't forget the 2 stars of this episode, that's Noobdy Noob and The Real Berserker. Go leave them a follow, go check them out because they are worth it. I have another speaker here. He's called The Real Berserker. He is an influencer of people, even if he sometimes doesn't know it. He still influences people in a good way. He is a Twitch streamer. He is a speedrunner. He is a god with lightning out of his eyes. He has a lot of names on the internet, only good ones, and I'm proud to call him my friend. You can find him on twitch.tv, The Real Berserker, without the last E. How you doing, Birdie?
That was the most amazing introduction somebody ever made of me. I'm doing great. I'm feeling fantastic. Yeah.
I put a smile on your face now.
Yeah. Lightning out of my eyes. Ooh.
Yeah, baby. So the reason I brought you in here, we all know 30 seconds, the streamer has 30 seconds, and I want to give people more than 30 seconds. And you had a good story about a person you met that you didn't immediately like, and you became friends. And how did that story go? I'm really curious about that one.
Well, the guy was called Reinout or something. No, I'm joking. It was back when I was like 15 or 16, when rock and roll and metal was dominating Europe and still growing. Thrash metal had put its first foot into the world of Belgium. Actually, it was here a long time, but we just discovered it properly. We're like, yeah, metal. We're going to drink beers and be all tough. And there were a couple of bars here in my hometown of Mechelen. And one of the bars was called, was a youth center, and cheap beer, shitty clean pipes. So, when you drank the beer, you would go to the bathroom very well the next day. Anyway, just to give you a scenery about it, it had those low self-made wooden chairs. Some of the chairs where grandma used to sit in, but unfortunately did not make it past 102, so they bought it over and stuff like that. Really cozy bar. It was really cozy, actually, really nice. I was sitting there with my metal buddies, and there was another dude, a metal guy from Louvain, sitting there sometimes. He lived still there, but sometimes he came to Mechelen because his parents were divorced justly, and his mom lived in Mechelen. His dad did not. And he came over always drinking beers as well. But he was a metal guy too. He had long hair, like longer than mine. That's where the trigger already started. How dare you have longer hair than me? And like, he drank beers. He listened to the exactly same metal as I did, which is black metal, the kind that screams a lot and has no,
text.
It has text, but no recording value. It's just like... that kind of
okay, the thing that I had to cut out now.
And so he was always there as well. His buddy, I kind of liked his buddy, but not him, because he was always looking at me like I did something wrong. Like, he's the Spanish Inquisition and I'm assaulted for not being a Christian or doubted being a Christian or something like that. And always the same. At a certain point, I was done with that. So we started having like verbal fights, never physical, but always verbal fights. Like when you have those rap offs with in the hip hop back in the 90s and the 80s in America, kind of like that, but just two drunk, long haired people shouting at each other. You don't even know how to wash your hair. You don't even know how to grow your hair. And I was like, you don't even know how to grow a beard. And that, he was like, because he can't grow a beard, he was like, fuck you and stuff like that. And eventually he started like, because he was a drummer and I was a guitarist / bass player / weird person, he started talking more and more, and he was like, fuck it, I need to have a band. And he's like the only guy around here who listens to that music as well. I have no choice. I must take this step. And he actually took the step first. He was like, hey, you want to jam? And you have 3 guesses what my response was.
Fuck no.
Basically yes. Like, fuck no, fuck you. I don't like you. You don't like me. You go, leave me. And he was like, no, I want to play a band. I said, leave me alone. He kept harassing me for like 6 months or so. Eventually I said, let's give it a go. And at that moment where I played the guitar and he was drumming, we weren't even covering nothing. We were just jamming. We had an intense click. And from that point on, we started drinking beers together every weekend and Wednesday afternoon because we were students, and started having fun and jamming a lot more, which resulted in our very first band called Pertalgis, which was pretty cool and brutal and black metal and fun. And then another band, and then another band, and we kept on jamming. And now to this day, we still drink beers and talk and jam. And, she's like, when I have a kid, you got to be my godfather. And I was like, when I have a kid, you will not be the godfather because you're a drunk fuck. We have that kind of relationship. We can still diss each other, but like in a friendly, not meant, or maybe he still does. Maybe he still means it. I don't know. But like, at least we get along.
That's the most important part of the friendship, I guess. And was the connection just by playing with each other?
Yeah, just the music, man. Just the music. We played for like an hour. I was like very not in the mood for it, but I said like, hey, why not? Let's give it a go. He was actually a pretty talented drummer. So it was like, oh shit. And he was like, hey, you can play the guitar. I was like, well, yeah, of course I could play the guitar. I mean, what? You thought I was lying? What the hell? And so like after an hour, we started like getting into that vibe of music, and that made us really connect with each other. To this day forward, whenever he wants to do a project, he rings me first. Hey, I need a guitarist. And I'm like, hey, can you still drum? And he's like, yeah. And then we actually split up the band because he had a disease on his wrist. He's like, how you say this in English? Yeah, well, I know the disease, but like sarcoidosis was his disease.
Oh, okay.
And it hits on multiple levels. It could be on multiple. He had it on his joints. Apparently, the English word is joints.
That sucks, dude.
So he couldn't drum anymore. He stopped drumming for 2 years actually because of the disease. But now it's under control and he can drum again.
That's a cool pick-me-up story that the disease didn't get him down. He's still.
Because he had sarcoidosis, and like we were like, he was still drumming, but he had so much pain. We stopped, and then we went to the doctor, and then we drank beers and talked about it. So we decided to not get a new drummer and him as a singer because it was just the 2 of us. We had other people playing when we were live. We decided to we're just going to stop it and we'll see what happens in the future.
It's cool that you use the word we. We went to the doctors. We did this. We did that. Yeah, like a real life friendship. You can hear and feel the connection between you guys.
Did the story touch you?
Actually, it did. I just love these kind of stories where you get on the wrong foot, but finally connect in some way. Because, like you said, it took a while. You had the same music interest, but it took a while to get to know each other really well and see what you are capable of, like playing the music together, like syncing that up before realizing that, whoa, this guy, I'm gonna call him my friend.
Yeah, we're basically best friends now, actually, basically. I have many people who say we're best friends, but like, like you and I, we're like best friends as well in my consideration, because like at least you can count on them. There's not many people you can count on.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that they start on the wrong foot. And we didn't start that way. I'm very sorry. We just like each other. But that you can have best friends like that and count on each other. That's what it's about. And that's the message I want to relate to people, that give people more than 30 seconds. Don't look at the cover of the book only.
Exactly.
See inside, read a bit.
They say you have your first 5 words depict the first impression of that person, and then the first 15 other seconds depict how you feel about his charisma. And after 30 seconds, you have your first opinion about a person. But, when you see me running around in a city, you'll think, oh, look at that homeless person.
I can imagine that.
You'd be surprised.
That's true. And getting to know people better in a way, like I'm sure other streamers we hang around, they're nothing like us. So it's like, how do I say this?
Best friendships are opposites.
Yeah, they're from different regions, from music style, from what we do, but somehow there is a connection. The connection is Twitch, and we broaden that. Oh, you like that music? Oh, you love to doing that? You like reading books? What books are you into? Something like that, and I enjoy those friendships, starting from nothing to a multitude of similar awesomeness and similar thoughts and doings and interests.
I mean, dude, we went to the first time we actually saw each other was at Game Force.
True.
And you were the only I'm going to cringe away from people because I don't know them in real life like me. That was one of the fucking best conventions I've ever did. Sorry for the swearing, but it was that good. Trust me, it was that good. It needs swearing. Regular words cannot esteem how awesome meeting this man in real life is.
It was, we were so loud. We were so loud. Other people just avoided us because damn, here they are. But I was...
Oh shit, they really are like they are on Twitch. They're very loud and they are there and wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm also the kind of person that gets really hyped when I'm having fun. So I'm really doinky doink. That's the word I'm using for it, doinky doink.
Fair enough.
And I feel a similar vibe of you.
I'm not just loud. Imagination takes over and we just start having too much fun.
That's true.
You might say, there's no too much fun, trust me.
There isn't. Oh, let's see that line and let's cross it. And let's see how far we can get.
Basically, yeah. That's how meeting us will be. You can, if you don't believe us, you can ask anybody from back. What's that community called back in the day? Oh yeah, bus. Not like a bus that drives, but like a union stream thingy.
Belgian Union Stream, that's correct.
There was a meeting there, and we were the only two like...
But to close it off, I want to thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Self-promote yourself. It's okay now. You can say where people can find you, because when people listen to this, I am sure they want to look you up. So go right ahead.
You can find me in your heart.
Aww.
No, okay. You can find me on twitch.tv/TheRealBerserker. But like he said before, the last E is not in there. So how you basically have to write the word in the ancient language. Same on Twitter, same on Instagram. You can find me in, can I say this community on Discord?
Sure, dude.
You can find me on this community in Discord as well. I'm that lovely chap with the beard. Always stay awesome. Believe in yourself. Believe in the power of the beard. It grows within the heart and not on the face. But still, on the face is also great.
Thank you again for coming on, dude.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
This was it for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and you're always welcome to join us on Twitter, Instagram, Discord group, and on the web. I'll see you there, guys.